Well, John, it's been a while since we've spoke. How have things been around the training ground since then?
Yeah, really good. We had 4 days off after the Charlton game. I thought well deserved from the lads, and what that's enabled us to do over the past few days is have two really good solid training blocks of 3 days each. So at the back end of last week and then just a normal week this week. We obviously haven't had the full complement of squad because the lads are away on international duty, but I'm pretty much back to full complement today. Had Cassini and Joe back in the building, and so it's been really positive. Just quite rare to have that sort of time with the lads.
The players had a bit of time off towards the start of last week. How much of a benefit was that for them?
I think it's going to be a massive benefit going into a really busy Christmas period. We had an August that was packed with games, and the last couple of months have been slightly easier, but now we just go into a period, particularly with the EFL Trophy game, where we're just back-to-back games, and that carries on right through, I think, until January the 1st. So we've got a really good 6-week period coming up. There's plenty of travel in there as well, so really important, I think, that we manage just to get a bit of rest into the boys, because when we do train, we train hard, and like we train, we want to play with intensity as well. So I think just making sure that we have the right balance between the two is a really positive thing for us.
As you said, you've had a real sort of good amount of time with the players on the training pitch. What's the focus been?
It's been wide-ranging, to be honest. We've been working on quite a few of the things that have made us into a what we consider to be a half-decent side this year. There's plenty of improvement to come, so we've been working on a few of those bits as well, and everything in between. So yeah, without giving away too much, we've made it a bit specific towards what we're going to encounter in the next week as well, not just with Blackpool, but with Burton and Northampton. So yeah, there's been loads of time to work on plenty of things. It's, like I said, it's a really rare opportunity for us to be able to do that.
As you said a minute ago, Cassini's back in the building. How pleased are you for him earning his first international debut last weekend?
Yeah, it's a magnificent achievement for Cassini, and obviously it meant a lot to him and his family, as we saw on social media and in the media over the past couple of weeks. Brilliant achievement. That was one of a couple. So for Cass to get his first international cap, that was great. Terry Devlin was called up to for the full side. I think he travelled out to Finland. Unfortunately, he didn't play, but he played for the 21s the other night as well. So really pleasing from our point of view that some of the lads are getting that international recognition. I think Regan obviously got his first cap for Wales as well. So not in this international break, obviously, but very pleasing that what we're doing on the pitch is being rewarded internationally.
What sort of game are you expecting against Blackpool this weekend?
Well, they're a side that's hit form recently, and they were one of the two sides, or one of the two fixtures that survived the international cull at the weekend. Comfortable winners against Shrewsbury, really excellent performance, and a few of their key players back as well. So you can reel off a couple of the Blackpool players that they've got, and they're household, not necessarily household names, but certainly for Football League aficionados, they're really well recognised names. Neil Critchley has got a really good pedigree of coaching, and he's had a lot of success at this level. So we're expecting a very well drilled, well coached side who are coming into their stride, and we're going to have to be right at it to make sure we compete at the weekend.
And we haven't spoken since you've been able to analyse the Charlton game. What did you learn from that one?
Learned that we have to put our chances away in order to make sure that when things happen like they did at the back end of the game, and we were disappointed with the nature of both goals, but particularly the second goal in the 93rd, 94th minute. When things happen like that, we put our chances away so that it's not a 2 or draw. Maybe we're 3-4 up at that point, and it doesn't cost us. So that happens across the season, but my overall gut feeling at the back end of the game was that we performed really well. The only thing we hadn't done is been clinical enough in both boxes, and stuck to that, having watched it and reanalysing it with all the players and all the staff, and overall really pleased with the progress. I think if we play like that more often than not, we'll win games.
What's the latest injury news?
Good question. Marlon has been back. He's back. He's fully fit, ready for selection. Unfortunately, you probably would have seen that Paddy Lane picked up a calf injury and pulled out of the Northern Ireland squad, so he's struggling. He's a real doubt for the weekend. Regan is due to go into surgery at the back end of the month. So I think next week, which is really positive. I think it's a real benefit for him to build up and be a bit stronger going into that surgery. And it's not about just delaying it for the sake of it. We want to make sure that the stronger he is going into surgery, when you do have the ACL repair, the better you are on the back end of it. I think a couple of the others, Tom Lowry's been out training with us. I think he should be back ready for full selection probably in 2 weeks, maybe around that EFL Trophy game in the second round. Anthony Scully is progressing really nicely. He's been out on the grass and slowly building up from what's been a pretty significant injury. In terms of the other long-termers, Josh Dockrell, doing as well as we'd possibly expect. And I think apart from that, I think that's everything. If I've missed any out, then you'll have to remind me, and I'll give you an update whenever.
There's a real sort of stable fixture schedule coming up, Saturday, Tuesday games. What's the aim sort of for this next 7 days?
The only aim that we've got at the moment is to go into the Blackpool game and trying to win that, and then we'll move on to Burton on Tuesday. So we just take each game as it comes, because things will change between now and Monday when we sit in the office and we look at team selection and we look at what's happened after the weekend. So full focus on the weekend, and then we'll go from there.
And just finally, back at Fratton Park this weekend, how much are you and the lads looking forward to it?
Massively. It was a brilliant atmosphere against Charlton. It's going to be another bumper crowd, I think, and I think everybody's seen that the difference it makes when opposition fans are travelling their numbers, such as Charlton did. So yeah, a really, really exciting time for everyone at the club, and Christmas is the build up to Christmas. It's always great to be part of a football club and to be involved in everything, and to be able to do that at Fratton's going to be brilliant.